So in this video we are going to see how to use the scanf function which is available within the stdio.h header file and use the scanf function to get the input from the user. So let's write the code. First we are including the header file stdio.h since we are going to use two functions in our program, printf and scanf, which is available within stdio.h. So we are including the header file stdio.h in our program. Then we are going to enclose our code within the main function since the main function is the entry point for the program execution. In the previous video I have told how to declare integer variables, and here we are going to declare a integer variable a, and after that we are going to print a message asking the user to enter the value for a. So here we have used the printf function to uh, print a message saying on the user to enter a value for a. Then in the next step we are going to use the scanf function to get the input for a from the user. So this is the syntax for the scanf function. We are like giving this percentage d is used because the variable is an integer type. See, whenever integer we are asking the input for an integer type variable, we are using percentage d within the semicolons, and after that, within the double quotes, and after that we are using ampersand a. Then we have to give ampersand here, else it is going to be error. The ampersand and the variable name for which we are asking the input. So the basic syntax I will write it as a comment scanf, then within the double quotes we are giving percentage d, then comma, then ampersand, the variable name, and we are ending the statement with a semicolon. So after this we have to check whether we have successfully got the input from the user. So in the next step we are displaying the value of a variable a using the printf statement. In the previous lecture itself I have told how to display the value of variable a variable using the printf function. So we are giving value for a percentage d, then comma a. I have explained this how to display the value of a variable in the previous lecture itself. So if you don't have any doubts regarding that, you can go to the previous lecture and see that. So now let's run the program and check whether it is running properly. Enter value for a. I am entering number 6, then giving enter. Then in the next line it is printing value for a6. So we have successfully got the input from the user, and whatever value was assigned to the variable a was displayed successfully in the next line. This is how you will use the scanf statement to receive the input from the user. Similarly, we can do it for the floating point variables also. Float b, we are declaring the float variable. Here float denotes the floating data type. B is the variable name. We will again ask the user to enter a value for a, enter value for b. Here we are going to say enter value for b because the floating point variable is b. Then here we are going to use the scanf statement. There is a little variation between receiving the input for a floating point number and for an integer variable. We are using percentage %f instead of percentage %d. Whenever integer variable is involved, we use percentage %d. Whenever floating point variable is involved, we use percentage %f. Then ampersand the variable name. Syntax for receiving the value for a variable which is a floating point variable is scanf within the double quotes percentage %f, then comma, ampersand variable name. Important thing is to add ampersand also, because sometimes we forget to add the ampersand symbol, then it may lead to unexpected results. Then next we will display to check whether the user check what the user has entered for as the value for b. We are going to use the printf function to display the value of the floating point variable whichever the user has entered. Here we are using percentage %b because we are displaying the value of a floating point variable. So wherever floating point variable is there, we use percentage %f. Wherever the integer variable is involved, we use percentage %d. Then now we will run the program. Enter value for a. A is the integer variable. We give 6. Value for a 6. Next it is asking to enter the value for b. So enter value for b is some floating point value 12.212. Let us enter it. Next the value of b is 12.212. It has displayed the value for b correctly. So this is how you receive input from the user for integer and floating point variables. So thank you, and let us meet in the next video.